people make these videos. There's no woman that would be interested in me under age of 40. I'm like, do you know how many girls under 30 are chasing after me? These people have no idea. It makes me laugh that they think that there's no woman that would be interested.
Yeah.
Once I became single after a 10-year relationship breakup,
Mhm.
I was then single and I was into the dating world. And so I'm like, this is what's the reality of my world. I'm a 5'6" manlet. If I go on a dating site, 85% of women are going to swipe past me because of my height right away.
Mhm.
And how much money do you have to make up for this? What are women looking for? And I'm just keeping it real. But I'm telling people from day one how to do this because people think you need to simp for women. It's the opposite.
Since you were in a relationship for 10 years and now you just recently came back onto the scene, what were some of the biggest realizations that you had as you got back on into the field, per se?
Well, that if you have high status and that if you make a lot of money, you're going to get a lot more girls than if you don't.
Right.
Because think of it, I've been in a relationship for 10 years. So I'm 48
Mhm.
years old. The last time I was single, I think I was 37. And so the girls, or let's say the caliber or the attractiveness scale or the sexual market value of the women who are interested in me at 48 are much higher than when I was 38. Now, when I was 38, I was a school teacher. I still had a decent job, but I certainly wasn't making six figures. And so
And
I
you didn't have the
realized,
following either.
yeah, I have a lot more fame people know about me and a heck of a lot more money. And so obviously there's a lot more interest. But I mean, obviously, if you have 2 million followers, there's a certain percentage those are women. And if you have a certain percentage of women who watch 1,000 of your videos, there's going to be some of them that are interested in you and they like your personality, your character. And so they're going to be of interest. And so people make these videos. There's no woman that would be interested in me under age of 40. I'm like, do you know how many girls under 30 are chasing after me? These people have no idea. It makes me laugh that they think that there's no woman that would be interested.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. You had another video which I thought was great, which the hot girl seeing what it's like to be an average man. They've done some other experiments with this where they give a woman the ability to run a man's dating profile, and they'll say the most crass things. They'll open up and just say the most weird crass things, and when then they find out that the average man is 5'9", they're totally blown away. Because one of the things I thought that was really interesting, I had Justin Waller on here last week, is that we as men, even if a woman isn't attractive to us, we see her. We still see her. We still see if grandma is by the side of the road and needs her tire is flat. We still see grandma. But it's often there's another video where a woman is being asked what's your favorite type of guy, and she'll try to describe it, and then the guy will be, what about that guy right there? And she's like, what guy? He's like, that guy right there. And he's like, you mean behind the mailman? And she's like, no, I mean the mailman. It's like she doesn't see him. It's not one of these things where she's like, I feel that he's unattractive. Like the guy who gave her the Chick-fil-A at the drive-thru, she doesn't remember that he was a man. She doesn't remember anything about his existence. And I just thought that it was an interesting concept when you come to this realization, and then now you have a hot girl trying to see what it's like for an average man to be on a dating app and how difficult it is.
Yeah, and I actually watched the same episodes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And women, they have no idea. And I don't even think men realize this. But for example, as a man with 2 million followers, there's only a few girls who are in my DMs chasing after me. A few. If you're a girl with no followers, you have 50 men chasing after you in any given week. If you go on a dating
Exactly.
app, you're going to be shown, if you're a woman, 100 guys in a week that are chasing after you. As a man, a couple. So the difference is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It is kind of crazy. Is that the dating apps, when they first started, there were some attractive women that were on there. But as time went on and those attractive women kept Brock the bartender and then not getting called back, over time that they started leaving the apps. This is the experience that I've seen when you see it's like 6 men to every one on the dating apps, and also from talking to really attractive women here in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Dallas, Miami, different places I've been. When I talk to them, they're like, yeah, I was on these dating apps for a bit and then I got off. And then you mentioned that Instagram is like the top dating app. Again, it's just something empirically I've seen over and over again to be accurate, where whenever I talk to the most attractive women, it's either one of their female friends introducing them or they meet the guy on a date on Instagram, and generally they'll look at the guy and see some of their female friends are following, kind of pre-selection. And so I thought it was an interesting thing where you're talking about fixing your Instagram being more important than being on a dating app.
Oh, yeah, I went on the dating apps and I would spend, 6 hours and look at 500 girls and be like, there's 2 that I could maybe date. And I'm like, what's the point? And they're not even going to message me back because I'm 48 years old and 5'6". So why would they have any interest in me whatsoever? So it's useless. Instagram, you can message anyone you want. You can look at their profile. You can decide. Are they just posting thirst trap photos? Are they just escorts? Are they prostitutes? Are they looking for a relationship? You can see everything about a woman's life on their front page. You look at the first 9 pictures, you can decide what kind of woman is this? Is this a girl to have sex with for one night? Is this a wife material, girlfriend material? What kind of woman is this? Very easy. You write them in their DMs, and it's a dating app.
Well, I think there's another part. Everything you're saying is correct, but I think there's another part, and that is I can maintain frame of I'm just living my life, and then you get to observe me in through my stories. Whereas if I'm on a dating app, there's an express intent for short-term sexual access. Regardless of what these women want to say themselves, those dating apps are mostly for short-term sexual access. Attractive women do not need dating apps for short-term sexual access. What they need dating apps for is to get guys to go down their only funnel or to try to find sugar daddies. That's what they're generally looking for. And a lot of guys don't like to hear this. They're on there and they're like, Michael, I don't understand why I'm matching with these girls and then they don't like me. And I'm like, did she try to get you to go to her OF? And he's like, yeah. I was like, that's all that was for. You never even spoke to her. You spoke to a dude in the Philippines who's like taking over her app and then doing this, and you don't even grasp what's going on. And then when you get on their own, it's the same guy from the Philippines who's still messaging you and giving you this information. So it's one of these really, really crazy things where women have become so attuned to male desperation that they're now using these things for showing, images on dating apps, showing images on fans, and showing images on Instagram.
Yeah, one thing I noticed with Instagram and some of the girls I've messaged in the past is most of them are actually just looking for men to give them money.
Yeah.
So when you get very attractive women, like the level of woman that I want to date, most of them already have boyfriends and they're only on Instagram to show pictures because they're hoping men are going to simp for them and give them money.
Yeah.
They're selling nudes. They have only friends. They're in secretly doing this, secretly doing that. That's the reality. If you're exceptionally beautiful and you don't have a job and it looks like you have a decent life, then how are you getting this money to do what you're doing? How are you flying off here? How are you in this yacht? How are you doing these things? Somebody's paying for these things.
Because I saw Andrew post this before where he's talking about having sex for anything other than having a child is gay, and being a man over 40 that doesn't have 5 kids. I think you took it the same way I did, which was satire. I don't think Andrew really believes that.
Yeah.
But I thought you were making a really great point. It's like, don't let these women ruin your mindset or become obsessed with them.
Yeah, Andrew Tate says this, but the message, and I made a video talking about this, is he's not saying he doesn't mean it's gay. He means you shouldn't be simping for girls and all you're caring about is pussy, and that's the only thing on your mind, because if the world's ruling you, that's all you care about. Women have all the power over men if all you care is about getting laid. If you can care about your own life, being your best self, and then that's just a side thing, then that's going to be a lot better. If you take out men wanting to get laid, women will lose all the power that they have over men.
The other one that I thought was interesting, I don't know if you made a video about this, but the soccer player Kaká getting a divorce from his wife.
Oh, yeah.
And again, she said they were high school sweethearts. She said he was too perfect, and which is fine. I've seen women do that. We've had several girls on the show, and I ask them, when you've broken up with a guy, have any of you ever regretted it? And I think maybe 2 out of 100 have ever said that they've regretted breaking up with their guy. But in this case, he goes off and he's ready to marry another woman, and then all of a sudden she wants to stop the wedding. I mean, and I've said this before. I think there may be some evolutionary adaptation with women where they cannot admit that it was bad to cheat on their boyfriend or it was bad to break up with them. Like, no matter what. I admit that some guys probably were bad boyfriends and you should have left, but they can't all be like that. And so I'm just curious what you think about that whole situation, because that was like a very extreme example where it was like he's too perfect, and then as soon as he's ready to be with someone else, then all of a sudden she changes her attitude.
Well, I think it was a wake-up call for most men, and basically saying, like, look, just because you do everything right and just because you do everything that she says she wants you to do, she wants you to make money, she wants you to buy her gifts, she wants you to treat her like a princess, it's bull. Just because a woman's telling you what she wants doesn't mean that she actually wants. There's what they say they want and what they really want. And women don't want men who simp for them, who make it easy, who don't challenge them, who aren't, let's say, a bit more vague in their desires. They have to be guessing at what they want. Women want to fight for men. Women want to know that there's other women out there that desire the same men. And so when you're dating somebody and you commit to that person, especially if you're married, and then you basically are like, oh, it's happily ever after, this is complete nonsense. If a woman senses that there's no other woman that's interested, that you're there for them, they're very easily going to lose that attraction. If you're not testing your woman to see, are they still attracted to me? What their attraction level at this point? Then it's going to slowly slip and you're going to lose that girl.